Today, we're getting into something you probably handle, well, almost every day without really thinking about it. The supplement capsule.
Right, but we're not just talking about any old capsule.
No, exactly. We're looking at Pullulan. And it's not just another plant-based option. We're framing this as a pretty significant, almost necessary upgrade in how supplements are made.
It really is. It's sort of becoming this key component that smart manufacturers are turning to. Why? To protect what's actually inside the capsule.
The active ingredients.
Precisely. So Pullulan isn't just some trend, it's an engineered solution, tackling real problems like ingredient stability and, frankly, consumer trust.
So our mission today, take all this info we've gathered on this polymer, Pullulan, and really unpack it. What is it? Why is it better than good old gelatin?
And even better than the standard synthetic veggie caps, too.
Right. And ultimately, why you, as someone who cares about supplements, might want to look for it.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. What is Pullulan? At its core, it's a polysaccharide polymer.
Okay, like a natural plastic almost.
Sort of, yeah, but made biologically. It comes from the starch of a fungus, Basidium pullulans, which sounds a bit sci-fi, maybe.
A little bit.
But the fungus itself isn't new. It was identified way back in 1938. It just took until, the mid-70s, 1976, I think, before we really figured out how to harness its useful properties commercially, especially its ability to form films.
A biopolymer from fermentation.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that sounds, well, it sounds cleaner already than the usual suspects.
It is.
Just so we're clear, when we talk about this standard vegetarian option it competes with, what are we talking about?
Primarily, that's HPMC, hyperomelis. That's been the go-to for veggie caps for a while.
But it's not quite natural.
No, it's semi-synthetic, needs quite a bit of chemical processing. Pullulan, though, it's naturally water-soluble, completely tasteless, odorless, and it forms this really nice, clear, glossy film, just naturally ideal for making capsules. Very clean.
Okay, let's dig into that. Putting aside the origin story for a second, cool as it is, what's the real practical difference? Why would a manufacturer go through the switch? What makes it actually perform better than HPMC or gelatin?
Performance-wise, it really comes down to protecting the contents from, well, the environment. Air, mostly. The absolute standout feature is its oxygen barrier. It's just exceptionally good. Way, way better than gelatin. Gelatin's actually quite porous.
Right.
And significantly better even than HPMC, which was already an improvement over gelatin in that regard.
Okay, oxygen barrier. Why does that matter so much?
Right.
Beyond just saying longer shelf life, what's the actual, maybe financial impact if oxygen gets in?
Well, think about it. If oxygen gets in and degrades the active ingredient, you're basically turning this potentially expensive, carefully formulated supplement into powder that doesn't do much.
So you pay premium prices for nothing.
Pretty much. If you've spent, say, $40 on a high-end probiotic or a special enzyme blend and that capsule fails, you've essentially bought very pricey filler because the key stuff got oxidized.
Ouch. So the real stakes are bioavailability, efficacy. Does it actually work when you take it?
Exactly. Very sensitive ingredients just degrade, sometimes really fast. Think about things like probiotics. Those are living bacteria.
Delicate.
Very. Or reactive compounds like enzymes, maybe bromelain, or even oils like flaxseed oil or other omega-3s, botanicals too.
Lots of things are sensitive then.
Oh, absolutely. So the Pullulan capsule, it acts like a really tight seal against that oxygen. It physically blocks it out. This keeps those active ingredients stable for much longer, ensuring they maintain the potency that's promised on the label.
That functional engineering is definitely impressive. But I have to wonder, is the average person buying supplements really thinking about oxygen barrier specs?
Probably not in those exact terms, no.
So does the real driver maybe come down to how it fits with modern consumer values, the whole clean, ethical thing?
I think that's where it gets really interesting. It's the convergence. Pullulan hits that sweet spot. It perfectly meets this huge, growing demand for clean, ethical, and sustainable products.
And the market data backs that up.
Oh, completely. The numbers are pretty stark. The vegan supplement market, estimated around $9.1 billion just this year, 2024, and it's projected to shoot up to nearly $18 billion by 2034.
Wow, that's basically doubling.
Yeah, it's about a 6.9% compound annual growth rate, that kind of growth. Manufacturers simply can't afford to ignore the demand for plant-based everything.
And it plays right into that clean label trend we hear so much about.
Directly. Sources we looked at show that more than 2/3 of consumers globally say a clean label influences their purchase. They want transparency.
Fewer ingredients, things they recognize.
Exactly. Pullulan fits that perfectly. It's naturally derived, no animal bits like gelatin, and it avoids those synthetic chemical steps you see with HPMC.
The sustainability angle seems strong too, especially versus gelatin from animal collagen. But given Pullulan is maybe still a bit niche compared to the giants, is the production volume really big enough today for that green benefit to make a huge global difference compared to, say, HPMC?
That's a really fair point. The sustainability edge right now isn't necessarily about the sheer volume today versus, say, HPMC production. It's more about the process itself.
How it's made.
Right. Pullulan comes from fermenting a naturally occurring fungus. It's done in controlled environments. That process inherently has a lower environmental footprint. Less water, less land, fewer resources compared to raising animals for gelatin or the chemical synthesis for HPMC.
So it's about the potential.
Yeah.
A better path for scaling up sustainably.
Precisely. It's the inherently more sustainable choice for the future. And, as a bonus, being a natural biopolymer, it's completely biodegradable.
Okay, that paints a clearer picture. And I guess the regulatory side, the certifications, reflect that clean sourcing commitment.
They really do. And this gives brands a huge advantage, especially global ones. Pullulan meets all the stringent dietary standards. It easily qualifies for vegan, vegetarian, kosher, halal.
All the big ones.
All the big ones. And because the sourcing process itself is so controlled and transparent, suppliers often get it non-GMO certified too. It just ticks all those boxes consumers are looking for now. Ingredient transparency.
Right, let's connect this back. We know it's stable. We know it meets consumer demand.
Yeah.
Which specific types of supplements, which formulations really gain the most from using Pullulan? Where does it shine?
Well, I think you have to start with the most fragile ingredients out there, the living ones.
Probiotics again.
Absolutely. Probiotics need maximum protection. Air, moisture, heat, they're enemies. Pullulan's oxygen barrier is critical here. It extends shelf life, keeps more bacteria viable.
Which means a better chance they actually work.
Right. And what's really fascinating, some early research even hints that Pullulan itself might have mild prebiotic properties.
Wait, so it could potentially feed the good bacteria it's protecting?
It's a possibility of being explored, so yeah, could be protecting and supporting them. Real value add there.
Definitely. What else?
Well, herbal and botanical extracts are another big area. Think about things rich in antioxidants or essential oils. They're super vulnerable to oxidation and moisture damage.
Right, they could lose their punch quickly.
Exactly. Pullulan protects those delicate plant compounds without interacting with them chemically. And because it's naturally fermented, it fits perfectly with organic supplement standards.
Makes sense. What about the high-performance market, sports nutrition? They're often very picky about clean labels, but also need stuff that works fast.
Oh yeah, it's a great fit there too. For sports brands really committed to avoiding synthetics, Pullulan gives them that stability for key ingredients like creatine, which can be sensitive.
And it handles moisture well. Some powders get really clumpy.
That's another key benefit. It's moisture resistant. So for those really hygroscopic ingredients, the ones that suck up water from the air like BCAAs or beta-alanine, Pullulan helps prevent that annoying clumping athletes hate.
Good point. And for athletes, timing is often key, right?
Yeah.
Getting nutrients quickly.
Absolutely. Speed matters. They want rapid delivery. Pullulan dissolves quickly in the stomach.
So fast absorption.
Fast absorption, quick nutrient delivery, whether it's for pre-workout energy or post-workout recovery. We're even seeing it used for protecting sensitive nootropics, things like lion's mane, ginkgo biloba, or even sleep aids like valerian root, where potency is crucial.
Okay, so the stability's proven, the market wants it. Let's shift gears to the factory floor. What about the people actually making the supplements? Stability is great, but if these capsules jam the expensive filling machines, nobody's going to use them.
That's always the million-dollar question, isn't it? The real-world test. And generally, Pullulan performs really well here.
Okay.
It has this natural strength and elasticity. That means it's compatible with pretty much all standard high-speed capsule filling machines. In fact, if it's stored correctly beforehand, it's often less likely to get brittle and crack or break during filling compared to gelatin.
Less breakage is huge. That saves time, money, prevents those line shutdowns.
Big time. But it's not exactly plug and play if a factory is switching over from, say, HPMC or gelatin. There are a few key adjustments they absolutely need to make.
Okay, like what? What are the crucial tweaks?
3 main things. First, closing force. The pressure the machine uses to join the two halves of the capsule. It needs to be dialed down slightly for Pullulan.
Why is that?
Because Pullulan is more elastic than HPMC or gelatin, too much force can actually deform it slightly or even cause tiny cracks you might not see right away. Think of it like putting a lid on a delicate plastic box versus a sturdy metal one. You need a gentler touch.
Got it. Precision over brute force. What's number 2?
Static electricity. Pullulan can build up static, especially running fast.
I can see how that'd be a problem. Capsules sticking together, attracting dust.
Exactly. It can mess up accurate filling weights, too. So using anti-static measures is basically essential. Things like ionizing air blowers near the capsules. It's not optional if you want smooth operation.
Okay, manage the stat. What's the third key adjustment?
It's about the powder itself, powder flow. Especially if you're filling with those hygroscopic ingredients we mentioned, the ones that absorb moisture.
Like the BCAAs or inulin.
Right. You have to make absolutely sure those powders are perfectly dry before filling. And often, manufacturers will need to add a flow agent. Common ones are silicon dioxide or magnesium stearate, just to help the powder flow smoothly and consistently into the capsules.
Makes sense. So adjust closing force, control static, and manage powder flow for tricky ingredients.
Those are the big ones for smooth manufacturing.
We've talked about stability after filling. But what about before? Storing the empty capsules. How do manufacturers keep them in good shape? Because they get sticky or soft.
The whole batch could be useless, exactly. Storage is critical. Humidity is the enemy here, or rather the wrong level of humidity. They need to keep the relative humidity strictly controlled, ideally between 35% and 60%.
And
temperature matters too. Store them cool and dry. The ideal range is usually between 59 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 15 to 25 Celsius. Definitely avoid high heat, super high humidity, and direct sunlight. Sunlight can cause discoloration and break down the material over time.
Okay, so careful storage is key before they even hit the machines. Now, this brings up a question for brands selling everywhere. If a company switches to Pullulan partly for that clean label appeal, does it actually meet regulations in major markets? Can you sell these capsules globally?
That's crucial for big brands, right? Global reach.
Totally. Compliance is everything.
And yes, Pullulan absolutely holds up. It meets the standards of the major regulatory bodies. We're talking FDA and USP standards in the US, EFSA standards for the European Union, and it's listed in the Japanese pharmacopoeia too. So that broad international acceptance, combined with all those dietary certifications, vegan, kosher, halal, makes it incredibly versatile for brands selling worldwide.
That's great news for scaling up. Beyond just function and compliance, though, can manufacturers actually use the capsule itself for branding to make their product stand out on the shelf?
Oh, for sure. There are quite a few customization options. First, sizes. They come in all the standard industry sizes, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2.
So you can match the dose needed. Yeah. Big dose, big capsule.
Exactly. Size 0, 0 for those hefty blends, maybe down to a size 2 if you're doing a precise microdose. It helps with accurate dosing and also, making sure people can actually swallow them comfortably.
And what about how they look?
Visually, you've got choices. They come clear, transparent. That's great if you have really high-quality looking powders or maybe cool little beadlets inside you want to show off. It signals quality.
Like a window into the product.
Right. Or you can get them opaque or in various colors. That's useful if the ingredients inside are sensitive to light. And a big one for branding, you can custom print on them.
Logos. Text it.
Yep. Logos, product names, dosage info, right on the capsule shell. It's a really effective way to build brand recognition, and importantly, it can help deter counterfeiting, too.
Okay, so the stability is top-notch, the market appeal is undeniable, manufacturing works well with the right tweaks.
Right. Adjust the force, zap the static, keep the powder dry.
And you can even customize them for branding. Seems like a solid package.
It really is. The only other piece, and it's a critical one, is for the manufacturers to make sure they're sourcing from a really reputable supplier, someone who provides solid quality assurance documents.
Like what kind of documents?
Things like certificates of analysis or COAs for each batch. Proof of ISO 9001 compliance for their quality management systems.
Yeah.
The basics for ensuring safety and quality, especially crucial since people are swallowing these things.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a really illuminating look deep inside the Humble supplement capsule. I think the main takeaway here is Pullulan offers this really compelling dual benefit, doesn't it?
It really does.
On one hand, you get the high performance, that amazing oxygen barrier, the ingredient stability. On the other, you get serious marketability. It's plant-based, hits that clean label demand, gets all the key certifications.
It guarantees the product works better for longer, while also aligning perfectly with what today's health-conscious, ethical consumer is actively looking for. It's a powerful combo.
It elevates the product's function, like you said, but also the promise it makes to the person buying it.
Exactly.
So hopefully the knowledge from today helps you, our listeners, feel a bit more informed about the hidden science packed into every capsule. But let's end with a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
If these high-performance, sustainable, ethically sourced capsules like Pullulan really do become the new standard, what's the next frontier for transparency? What will manufacturers need to show to earn consumer trust down the line? Could we see a future where you demand to know the specific fungal strain used in the fermentation? Like tracking the origin of your coffee beans?
Traceability down to the microbial level. That's a fascinating thought for where things might go.